So I bought a beehive. We've been talking about doing some beekeeping for a while, and I hope you can see this, by the way. I'm having lots of problems with my cameras. I need to, as always, update, but I have not made a video in probably 2 years. Trying to get back to it here. So, as you can see, Hoover Hives picked up a Langstroth 8 frame. I got a symbol of frames. There's the foundation for the honey supers, as well as for the brood chambers. The one I purchased, I have one honey super. This is the queen excluder right here. And again, I don't know how well you can see this because I can't get my app to work properly to line this all up. But I have two brood chambers, or large supers. And the thing I liked about the Hoover Hives is that they were wax dipped, and you can see that, but there's a good coating of wax. You can see they dipped it this way because there's a kind of runs the way the light hits it here on this end. But I'm going to assemble these, and right now it is early February, and I probably won't get my bees till the end of April. They're already ordered, though. You got to order in January. So I thought I would start by making a video of trying to get things together. I've ordered some of my beekeeping tools, my jacket. Well, it's actually a full suit, and that should be here shortly. So in the meantime, I was just gonna kind of set this up, and I haven't done this before. I've seen a couple videos online. Some of them are a little wordy to me, and hopefully I'm not going to be that way. But this is how they go together, allegedly. I'm going to have to scrape these off, I think, a little bit to make them fit, because they're going to be tight. I expected they would be, but this is crazy. So I will figure that out, and I'll get back with you. But in the meantime, these dovetails have to go together. I will pre-drill each of those dovetail fingers, and then glue here and add nails and get everything together. So I'll be back shortly when I get this figured out. Back at it. Just needed a little bit more force behind it, I guess. Not exactly what I was wanting to do. I was afraid of damaging it, but it seems to work out pretty good. Good snug dovetail. We'll see how this last side goes on. Make sure I got it facing the right way. Kind of get those dovetails lined up, fingers as close as I can. Okay, that side started. We'll do the same over here. A lot of wax on here, which fine with me. Until the bees can add their own thing, this will help keep things together. Good thing I had a rubber mallet around. I hate to do this with a regular hammer. Okay, that one's the easiest one so far. Alright, then, based on the instructions here, on the end cap it shows 4 screws going in. So I'm just pilot drilling each one of these 9/32 bit. Center. And then, I forgot to glue them. The first sides I glued. So these I might knock apart, and I put glue in each one of these. Back in a minute. And all I'm doing, that's why they're not going all the way down also, is I'm putting some glue in each little cavity here as I go along, and then I'll come back behind with a small brush and kind of spread it out. And then when I tap it together, hopefully this will just help. And this is per their instructions here, using a water resistant interior exterior glue. and I just kind of spreading it around, and then once I hammer this back together, I'll wipe all the excess off. I'm not worried about the hive looking super perfect. It's going to be out in the weather and whatnot, but might as well start as neat as I can. So just brush them up. Repeat on the other side, of course. Okay, so definitely keep a rag handy, or a couple. And you see there's going to be some scratches, and it's not really scratches. It's the wax getting moved around. And then here on my bench, there's pieces of wax all over the place here, and they get kind of smashed onto these hives bodies as I'm putting them together. But this will be the last. After pilot holing, and like I said earlier, and now I went back and put glue in there. I'm choking up on the hammer, so hopefully I don't split it, and I think I had. Alright, so there's the first super, or brood chamber, if you will. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm wiping the excess glue, as you can see, as much as I can. I'm going to build the bodies first, then I will stack them up. Then I'll go back and build my frames, and then come out and I'll lay the frames in and see how everything fits. As I'm going along here, I'm learning a few things the hard way. Definitely pay attention to the grooves here, the handle. I was getting ahead of myself, and I got one hammered with that inward. Fortunately, it's one I'm not planning on having to move a lot, but you do have to rotate, so I'll just have to lift from the short ends. The other thing that I found was easier and much quicker, it seemed to be less messy, was to put the glue in like so. It almost acts like an assembly lube, if that makes any sense, until it starts to set. But you can get more coverage this way. It's just faster. Again, tops, make sure they're aligned. Also, as you can see, I put cardboard down because it was making a pretty good mess of this bench. This way, the box that it came in will take up all the extra wax and glue and such. So there, so you can see the wax that collects. It's mainly at the bottoms where they dipped and lifted. I have to say I like the wax on there. I mean, it makes assembly a bit of a pain, but well worth it, in my opinion. Pilot drill is absolutely necessary. If you don't pilot drill, you will split it. Most people probably know that anyways, but if you were unsure, I would strongly recommend you pilot drill. And if this wax bothers you, I got the putty knife here to clean up some of the stuff, but mainly it was to clean off the hammer here so I wasn't making big marks. So that's that. More later. Next step, setting up frames. These frames are for the brood chamber where the bees get raised and fed and all that stuff, and of course they store honey there, but it's not where we're going to take honey from when that day comes. That would be from our honey super, which is the medium box. Any rate, doing this my own way. I've watched some videos online and everybody seems to do it different. Some people use finish nailers, brad nailers, but the way they do it seems to be varying by where you're at, and they do groups at a time, like a whole super's worth. I'm going to do one at a time because I have 16 of these to do. I've already done 8, and what I learned is the directions are poor. As I said before, they're not very good. But they show in the directions putting a nail here and here, which are one of these smaller nails they ship with the hive kit. And then they show in another section here, and I'll try and give you a look, driving them through from the side. And I can't tell if that's the bottom or how, I'm not sure how they got it going here. It shows the bottom going on, and don't show anything going through it, but they also show the nails going in from here, like so, or from here. I did try that on a couple, and I didn't care for it. It seems to split pretty much every one. So if you watch what I do here, this is what I've decided on. It seems to work for me, and we'll see how they hold up over time. Of course, you saw the glued stuff already. Put it on the top board, grab a top board, or I'm sorry, bottom board, and work it in there, and then you can make sure this thing is lined up with the groove in the board as much as possible, and just kind of push it together, and then I'll double check, see how it's in there, and that's what keeps it in place. Then I'll give it a quick tap just to make sure we're seated good and tight. Some side pressure on it. 1/16 inch drill bit. And then just tap the brads home, wipe the excess glue, flip it, same thing on this side. Wipe the glue. And we'll see how well this holds up, like I said, because putting a nail straight down and then expecting to lift this whole thing up like so with some weight on it from the build out from the honeycomb as well as all the bees, I'm not sure how it's going to hold. Just might be my ignorance of this. I'm assuming as the bees build it out, it's going to just make it hold together even more so. Again, they showed it going through the sides. I haven't seen anyone go through the sides on these, and it doesn't, I mean, it made sense to me to go through as far as lifting. It'll help hold it, but if it's splitting, it's not going to do you much good. So that's what I come up with. Don't forget to wipe the glue here. And I got 7 more of these to go, and then I have 8 of the small honey frames with different base. This brood base is dark, and they do that, I believe, and don't quote me on this, I'm obviously learning, been reading books, but it's so you can see, if you're inspecting the hive, you'll be able to see against the black background the larvae that's in there. These are plastic foundation. Some people still like the old paper. I figured I'd try the plastic. That kind of appeals to me. They're reusable. You can scrape them clean if issues happen. But then they dip them in beeswax. These are kind of sticky, and that's why they look kind of dingy looking. It's that beeswax coating to help get them going. And then they make the cells on here so the bees are like, oh, okay, let's go with it, and they run with it. Anyway, that's brood chamber frames, and I'll be back when I'm doing the honey super frames. Alright, time to build the honey super frames. Same process as the brood frames. They use a different frame though. As you can see, those are yellow. I guess that tells them to make honey and not brood. I'm not sure, because they pretty much make brood wherever they want. That's where the queen excluder comes into play inside the hive. So I have that will be set below the bottom of the honey super itself, so the medium super. Same thing. So this has beeswax coating on it. Like I said, you can see it's yellow. So and the height is different. This is a medium super. I guess you can go with longer ones. You can go with a deep super like the other two, like the brood chambers, but they're really heavy when they're full of honey. And I'm trying to think I'm not getting any younger. I'm trying to be practical, so hopefully this will work as I get older. My wife's going to be doing it as well, so as she gets older, we need to make sure that both of us can lift a full super of honey when it's time to harvest. Like I said, same procedure. I'm going to spend some time because it seems like I got a bunch of nails left here for these little guys. And I'll research after this video, see if I need to add some nails or change how I've done anything for the next hive. If we do a next hive. I don't intend on it, but what I think about now and how things are in the future are rarely the same. Quick and easy. So I have 8 of these. And there you go. That's where your honey's going to be. Frames are done, at least for the brood boxes. So we're going to set them in there, make sure everybody fits. This is your finished product. This is 1 brood chamber, 8 frame Langstroth hive, and these are our 8 frames. Now I have, like I said earlier, it's only February. I have until approximately the end of April for the chances of my bees getting here are, and hopefully the weather's good by then. So in the meantime, I'm going to do a little more research and learn more, hopefully, see what I've done, wrong, like these frames here, see if there's a different way to nail them or whatnot. But like I said, I'm going to try this with a heat gun too. In the meantime, that's what you look like. There is a completed brood chamber.